Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So, we are talking about Power BI. So, Power BI is we have completed few modules. Whatever be the modules that is still pending, that we're going to cover after this classes. And today we'll start with new more module, which is from MSBA. SSAS is part of MSBA, right? So, if you wanted to be part of data analytical team, okay, if you wanted to be part of data analytics, never work for only one software. If you're learning only reporting or if you're learning only ETL, always it is a threat, but you need to have combination of tools, right? So we have planned for SQL Server, then Power BI is a purely reporting tool, and you can do bit of ETL and other stuff as well. And if you need a proper ETL tool, then definitely the companies are asking us to learn SSIS, which is a pure ETL tool, and SSAS, where you're going to be processing your data, and we have SSRS. It is reporting tool, right? So earlier we had MSBA. So MSBA started when in 2005. So Power BI started when in 2015, right? So Power BI, you can say it has one more tool for SSRS, which is not a replacement for SSRS. So you cannot say, many people will say Power BI is replacement for MSBA. That is completely wrong. Power BI is not replacement for MSBA, or Power BI is not replacement for SSRS also, which is advanced tool. That's it. Advanced reporting tool. Okay. So advanced reporting tool to get into the better reporting purpose. So this is what is called Power BI. So the better you have to go in for SQL Server we are learning, and reporting is also, I think we have completed some batches. And from today, this is the one is going to start at 9:30 so a.m. and to 10:30 a.m. on daily basis, and this will be for 25 days. Okay, it is very important, very interesting. And MSBA also drag and drop software. It is not a coding software, but MSBA again needs what? SQL Server. SQL Server is mandatory in MSBA, Microsoft Business Intelligence. So needs again SQL Server. So this is already you people are learning, right? So this is ongoing process. You should not stop it. This is also you people are learning, right? Now, today I'm going to be starting SSIS is going to start, and today I'm going to be starting SSAS. Clear? So this is again from MSBA only. So you have to install one software. Which software you need to install? So you have to install SSDT software. Clear? So where is SSDT? When you install SQL Server 2019, so you will have to install one is called uh, SQL Server Management Studio. So when you install this, you will be able to install SQL Server software, right? The next one is called SQL Server Data Tools. Okay. So data tools, this is where the MSBA will get installed. That means SSIS, SSAS, then SSRS. So you have to have SQL Server data tools, and it is available in Visual Studio. So you will be able to see this in Visual Studio. Clear? So when you have Visual Studio setup, so when you have SSDT setup, you will be able to find out all these projects. Clear? So when you install SQL Server, this is the latest version, right? Make sure this is what is installed, SSDT. SSDT is nothing but SQL Server data tools. It is also called as a Visual Studio. And so how to open this? How to open this? If you wanted to open, how can we open this? If you wanted to open this, go to start. So you need to say SSMS. So when you go to start, so say SSMS, you should be able to have SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so this is the one you will be able to get it. Right, so it is 2019 and it is saying 18. It is actual 2019 software. Now, if you wanted to open this, you have to go to start, okay, and dev environment. Okay, so let me go to start dev environment. What is that? Visual Studio 2017 SSDT. Have you seen this? If you wanted to work with MSBA, so how can we start this? Go to start dev environment. Okay, then look for what? Visual Studio. Okay, Visual Studio is a .NET software. So MSBA is prepared or created with the help of a .NET software. Even Power BI is a .NET software. So Microsoft is going to use .NET inside Power BI, even inside Windows, inside Excel, inside MS Word. All these are .NET softwares only. Even SSIS and SSRS and SSAS, so which is also a .NET based softwares. And start dev environment Visual Studio. So you will be able to find out SSDT. So this is where you can use SSIS and SSAS and SSRS. Go to start and you say dev environment. So you should be able to click on this. When you click on this, Visual Studio 2017 is getting opened. So after that, you have to go to File, New, Project. So remember all these steps. So go to Start, Visual Studio. You have to open this. Now after that, we have to say File, New, Project. Clear? So let me open this. Let me close this. Let me show you once again. Go to Start, Dev ENV, Development Environment. Choose Visual Studio 27 SSDT. If you don't have this, what is the meaning? You did not install SSDT properly, or you did not install. You need to go to your the files which we have given. You look for SSDT setup. Clear? You need to set up this, and after that, so open this. It is going to be opening like this. Now you go to File, New, Project. Clear? So we have analysis, we have a reporting. This is SSRS, right? So when you click on business intelligence, you have integration. Integration means what? SSIS. So there are three projects: one, two, three. Clear? So analysis, reporting, and business intelligence means we're talking about integration. That is SSIS. We're going to be using the first one, okay, to create pure ETL projects. Clear? If you wanted to work with reporting, so we can go in for reporting. SSRS is this. And if you wanted to work with analysis, so you have to go in for, there are two projects: multi-dimensional model. The next one is called a tabular model. Tableau is different. Tabular model cube is different. Clear? So analysis is going to be having two projects. When you go to file new project, then you can say expand analysis. Expand analysis. When you expand it, so when you expand like this, how did I come? Go to file, new, project. So you have to click on analysis and expand it. So multi-dimensional and a tabular model. So what is that we need? We are going to be using tabular model. So click on this analysis services, expand analysis. Okay. So I have to expand analysis services, expand like this. Then click on tabular model. Click on analysis services. Then click on what? Click on tabular. So this is what is called tabular. And I have three: analysis services, tabular, project, import from Power Pivot, import from server. So I don't want to import. I have to create a new one. So analysis services, you know, Tabular project. So you need to click on Tabular. Again, choose. Okay, choose. What is that you need to choose? Analysis services Tabular project. Analysis services Tabular project. Clear? And after that, you need to give the name of the project. So what is that you wanted to do it here? The name you can say SSAS Tabular Cube. For which project? For Amazon. Okay. If you wanted to work for Amazon project, you have to give SSAS Tabular Cube for Amazon. So where you would like to store this? I wanted to click Browse. Okay. So I wanted to go to D drive and demos. Now I would like to create a folder for let us say folder number is 11 SSAS. Okay, Tabular. So this is the folder I have created, and this is the path I'm going to be giving, and see what is the .NET which is using internally. .NET Framework 4.6.1. Clear. So SSIS and SSRS, even Power BI, even Excel. Excel is also .NET software. So Windows 11 or Windows 10, when you have installed it, .NET component also will be installed automatically. So whenever you're updating the software automatically, the latest .NET is also going to be installed. So I'm talking about MSBA. MSBA is going to be using what software internally? .NET Framework 4.6.1. People may ask you, so what is the .NET version you have? 4.5 or more? 4.5 or more, versions. Okay, choose the first one and choose the tabular one and click on OK. So what is the multi-dimensional? Multi-dimensional is also one more project. So this is going to be covered as part of MSBA course. If you join MSBA course, we are going to be discussing multi-dimensional. So where you are going to be creating a cube and you should be able to process the data and everything. So here we are going to be using tabular model cube, which is got released in year 2012. Clear? So I will discuss about the two differences. Okay. So tabular model, multi-dimensional is there since long back. It is there, I think, since 2000, 2005. So from starting, this is there. It's 2005 when the Microsoft released MSBA, multi-dimensional is there. So tabular model is added in a 2012. Okay, so 2012. So we'll talk about both of them are cubes only. Tabular model cube and multi-dimensional, both of them are the cubes. First of all, you need to know why analysis services, what it is going to do. That is what we need to understand now. We will discuss. The next point, why multi-dimensional, why tabular, what is the difference between these two? Okay, so that is also very, very important. And and under Power BI class, I'm going to be covering only tabular model. Under MSBA, we are going to be covering multi-dimensional. So if you join MSBA, so SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. And SSAS, I'm going to be covering multi-dimensional model, right? So if you join Power BI, and if you will get a Power BI with the tabular model cube. So which is not a Tableau. Tableau is a reporting software, not from Microsoft, from the third party. So I'm talking about SSAS tabular model cube. So one more thing you need to know, if you wanted to work with this at the time of installation, of SSRS, it will ask you what kind of a cube you wanted to create. You wanted to create multi-dimensional or tabular. When you choose this, you will not be able to work on tabular. If you choose this, you will not be able to work on multi-dimensional. Be clear. At the time of installation, if you choose tabular model, then you can work on the tabular model cube. At the time of installation, if you choose multi-dimensional, you cannot choose the tabular. So either of them, so either this or that, both of them in a single computer will not work. Remember this point. So people may ask me, sir, it is not working for me, it is not showing for me, because you can create a project at the time of deployment, it will fail. Clear? If you install multi-dimensional in your computer, you will not be able to work with Tabular. If you install a Tabular, you will not be able to work with the multi-dimensional, guys. So that is also one more thing. So at the time of installation, make sure if you already installed it, I think many people would have installed a Tabular. If not, okay, if it is not working, we'll come to know how what is it we have installed, how can we know? You will get lot of issues, don't worry. So when we deploy, you will be able to get lot of issues. That time again, you have to reinstall the SSDT software. Remove the SSDT software. Again, you reinstall it with the help of what? So SSDT, and choose tabular model cube. So then only we can work with this. So analysis services, first, so when the Microsoft MSBA released in year 2005, that time we had only multi-dimensional cube. But in 2012, Microsoft is added. So 2012. So Power BI is released later in 2015. Power BI got released into the public, right? So which is very, very old software than the Power BI. But Power BI is using a tabular model cube. The question is, sir, if I use Power BI, can I also get multidimensional? Why not? Power BI can take any data, you can take multi-dimensional data, you can take tabular model data, anything you can take. But Power BI means you have a less number of data, less, right? Because Power BI will have only 10 GB of data, right? When you have less amount of data, you need not go in for multi-dimensional cube. You the better go in for the tabular model cube. Clear? So what is the difference? Which one we need to use and what is a cube first, everything we'll discuss slowly. And we create one cube, and after creating a cube, using that cube, how can we get the data and how can we create a report? So report means again, get the data, transform the data, load the data, and use modeling and everything. And after that, you create visualizations to deploy the cube to the Power BI service, right? So all these are common again. So only you should know how to create a tabular model cube. So I'm going to be creating a project. So choose this. So creating a project wise, there is no problem. So when you create a cube and deploy it, that is when you're going to be getting an error if you don't install this version. If you install with this, so at the time of deploying this project, you will get issues. Creation wise, there is no problem. You can create any project. Clear? But if you wanted to deploy this project to your tabular model, you have to install that. When you install this and try to deploy this, is not going to work. Vice versa also will not happen. Clear? So choose the tabular model and give the path and click on OK. So this is how you can create a project. So it is telling me where you want to have it. So I would like to have local host, or I can have a dot. So dot means what? So local computer, or I can give the computer name is called Kadar. So my machine name, I know that. So I can give this as well. So test connection. Fine. Now, so it can compatible to this SQL Server 2019 or much more. So after these versions also it is going to work. No problem. So click on OK. This is how we can create a project. Okay, so these are the data sources, KPIs, measures, perspectives, lot of things are available, but I'm not going to be discussing all these things now. We have to discuss about what? So the project name is called SSAS Tabular Cube Amazon, but what is the need for the cube, right? So that is what we should know so that you will enjoy the session. easily let us, jump onto this. But you have to know that. So if you wanted to work with MSBA, SSAS tabular model, so what are the two things we have? One is called multi-dimensional, project. The second one is called tabular projects. Clear? In the tabular projects, we are going to be consuming them in Power BI. So this one we are going to be consuming in SSRS, or we can consume in Power BI, or when we create a Tableau reporting softwares. So this is also Power BI, or even in Tableau software also we should be able to consume. Even in SSRS we should be able to consume any reporting tool. We can consume, get the data from here. We should be able to work with this. This is not a problem at all. Or you can also connect using Excel sheets. So Excel is also number one reporting software, right? You can also consume these, SSAS softwares in your Excel sheets as well. So no problems. Clear? So in this we are going to be, writing DAX expressions, data analytical expressions, in tabular model cube in Power BI. So DAX is going to be used in two places. One is called Power BI. The second place is called tabular model cube. So if you wanted to write some expression, you have to know DAX. But if you wanted to write some coding, right? So what is the coding you're going to be writing? What is the language? MDX. What is MDX? Multi-dimensional expressions, right? So in Power Query, we are using M language, right? So like that, multi-dimensional cubes, when you create, what is the language that you're going to be having? The language is this. What is the language? It is multi-dimensional expressions, MDX. DAX means what language? It is DAX language which is going to be used in Power BI, plus it's going to be used in the SSAS tabular model cube. Clear? The DAX, data analytical expression. So people may ask you where and all DAX can be used. So DAX is used in two places. One is called Power BI. So the next place is called SSAS tabular model cube. Clear? In both places, we're going to be writing what expressions? DAX expressions, data analytical expressions. The first thing is that Y cube is important, right? So this is where I have to start my class. And what is SSAS? Okay. So what is SSAS and why SSAS, right? Or Y cube, what is a cube? All these things we have to discuss now. Am I clear? If you have any questions, you can ask me or chat with me. So let us start with this. According to, so SSAS tabular model cube, we are planning to discuss now. Why SSAS? So introduction to SSAS, rules of SSAS and need for SSAS, and is an analysis tool, stores pre-aggregated data to speed up the query, stores pre-computed data. SSAS has two projects. One is called a tabular model cube. The second one is called multi-dimensional cube. So which has got introduced. Okay. So let me have this first. So this has got introduced in year 2005. And this has got released in year 2012. So this is the thing. Let me tell you what is the need for SSAS. Okay, I will tell you one better example. So normally when you have a large amount of data, so you have data coming from different sources. When you have large amount of data, so when you have less than 10 GB of data, we directly dump the data to where? To the Power BI itself, and we do lot of circus. We clean the data, we do ETL transformations and everything. But think about company like Amazon.com. Do you think that they have only 10 GB of data or 20 GB of data? Think about State Bank of India, or Amazon.com, Walmart.com, very bigger companies, IRC, Indian Railways. Do you think that they'll have only 10 GB of data? So 10 GB of data will not be available. But how? If they have terabytes of data, how many projects of Power BI you prepare? You'll go mad. So when you have less when you have less data, then only the Power BI is useful. When you have terabytes of data, Power BI, so Power BI of ETL cannot be used. Power BI of modeling also cannot be used when you have large amount of data. So if you're thinking about a pyramid example, let me talk about a pyramid. Okay, I spoken about this later. So if you think this is your pyramid, and this is what is the three parts I'm going to be dividing the pyramid. Bottom level, so you have small companies, right? Small companies like goonlinetrainings.com. What is the data size? I'll have it. Maximum, I will get MBs of data, but it is a small company. I need also reporting a tool. Think about a courier company. Think about a small, superstore or lot of construction companies. They'll have large amount of data, but all these companies are going to be having very small amount of data. Courier companies, shipping companies, sweet shops, and you have a lot of restaurants. Lot of companies are there, so where they don't get much more data, but they have millions of profits, millions of transactions. They'll have it. Then we have a medium level companies where they may be having some GBs of data. Slowly, they are going to go to terabytes of data. Then we have a bigger companies. Bigger companies are called enterprise level companies, very, very bigger companies, right? So when you have much more data, for example, what is the meaning of enterprise level company? Think about Amazon. Amazon is going to come to this. Amazon is the company is going to come. Not only Amazon, Flipkart, okay, Netflix, even Facebook. Lot of thousands of companies are available where they are enterprise level companies. Medium level companies also where they have, CMM level 3 companies are like that. So bottom level companies, we're talking about goonlinetrainings.com. So a lot of other companies, small restaurant, hotels, all these people are there, right? So they also have data. They also create a lot of reports. Earlier, we were creating reports in where? Excel. What is the best tool for them to use it? Excel is the number one. They can store the data. They can prepare a lot of reports. And my team is going to be submitting. These are the people who have attended demo. These are the people who have paid the amount. And last month, this is the revenue. These are the expenses. Last month, these people are do a lot of things. These many inquiries we got it. So all the reporting and storing, everything is done with the help of Excel. But the problem with the Excel is that lot of things are not automated. For example, I wanted to show the report to one more guy. Only one thing is that I have to attach the file. So if I'm attaching the file, I'm giving complete data to one more guy, and he can easily manipulate the data. When I'm giving the data, so what happens? Even though one more partner is available, he can manipulate the data. The problem is that you lose the data and everything, right? You can manipulate, you can do a lot of other things, but I don't want to use Excel, and Excel is tedious and everything is manual. So I don't want to have this kind of a reporting. So instead of this, do you have any better tool? The better tool is called Microsoft is released Power BI. So Power BI is advanced version of Excel, and which is not, you can automate a lot of things. You can publish the reports, then you can hide a lot of things. You can create a dashboards. You can do a lot of other things. But all these things with Excel is very, very difficult, right? So people who say, sir, I'm very good in, Excel, sir. Can I come to Power BI? You can come to Power BI. Excel reports are called MIS reports. What do you mean? What do you mean by MS reporting? Management Information System Reporting. Of any people who are working for this Excel, they are called MIS reporting. Okay, but we are not MIS. What is MIS? Management Information System Reporting, which is a topic in your degree also, right? So MIS reporting can be done with the help of Excel, but Excel is more tedious, more complex, and you need to recruit Excel developers, and morning to evening they'll take your data, they'll create lot of reports and publish. One thing, they don't get much more salaries, and you will also be waiting for a lot of reports, lot of time consumption, and you cannot automate lot of things. And these people are going to be writing VBA. Okay, VBA code, these people are writing VBA code. So, however, we are writing M language code, DAX code here. So, Excel people are writing VBA, VB for analysis. Okay. So, VB scripting code, they're supposed to write it. So, Microsoft has thought why we need to give this kind of a thing, which is more complex, and let us switch to Power BI. So Power BI got released. So many Excel users, so slowly, put their data into Power BI. Slowly, it is very, very easy. It is called as a self service BA. What is the meaning? Any non-technical guy, people who know Excel can work with Power BI. Just tell them, let them know that this is what is called transforming in data. This is what is called modeling. If you teach for 5 hours, at least one day training for non-technical guys like managers and everybody, you just tell them that how to load the data, how to create a visualization. Give one day training on Power BI. They will be able to create. They will be able to create the beautiful reports without putting any efforts. This is what is called self-service BA. Clear? So Microsoft was targeting this audience. Which audience? Small enterprise level, small companies, people who do not have. But these companies are more, because why bottom level pyramid? Bottom means it can show you the large space. It can show you small place, right? So if you fill with the color, it is going to be taking more. It is going to be taking somewhat, and it is like this. So enterprise companies are less, and small companies are this. So when you have bigger companies, they can go in for storing data in Hadoop. Okay, they store the data not in Excel sheets, Hadoop, or they can go in for a traditional BA like MSBA, right? So Hadoop or data warehousing with, they'll go for any BA system. They'll go in for MSBA, or these are the traditional BA systems they're going to be implementing. These companies are these companies. Directly, they store data either in Hadoop or in BA. So this is what is called BA system. So these two are called what? These two are called BA. Okay, so one is big data Hadoop. The second platform for them is BA. Clear? So BA means what? Which is a MSBA. MSBA is going to be storing the data where? In data warehouse. So where these companies are going to be storing the data? Maximum times these companies are going to store the data in Excel only. Maximum times they store the data in Excel only. You take the data in Excel and create a better reports and you give it. So this was the story why Microsoft released, Power BI into the market. Clear? But when we have data coming from Hadoop, data coming from data warehousing. Data warehousing means I'm talking about you have a large amount of data. So you think about Amazon company data every month, even though you talk about small data, they will get minimum 100 GB 200 GB data per month. They may have SAP system, they may have HR system, they have a sales system. So they'll have a lot of other system, .NET servers. They'll have a lot of data in Excel sheets also. All the data, when you take it, when you take this data, when you take this data, all this data, let me take this and open one more paint. Okay, let me paste it here. When they have this much of a data, so what is that they should do it? All the data they have to bring. So with the help of SSIS. SSIS is what? Get the data from different softwares, and it is going to be performing ETL operations. It is external software, right? Get all the data, and we're going to be cleaning the data in one more place. What is that place? We also knew we are going to be implementing a software called staging server. Staging means what? Which is a temporary server, or which is a RDBMS, database server only. It is a SQL server or Oracle, any RDBMS server. So here we are going to be doing data cleansing activity. Data cleaning activity, that is what we do. We remove duplicates and everything. So later, all this data with the help of SSIS, okay, with the help of SSIS, which is going to go to where? A data warehouse. So we got large amount of data here. When we have a large amount of data in the data warehousing, so you think that, so current month sales in Amazon, let us say the Diwali offers are going on in India. In next month, Thanksgiving Day is going to come in, America, right? So when the Thanksgiving Day, Christmas offers is going to start, so you will have more and more sales going to happen. So in India, we have a Okay, guys. So we have to create a data warehousing here. So when you create a data warehouse, you get so much of a data. For example, this month 100 GB of data is collected. So the 100 GB of data is going to come here, right? So 100 GB is going to come. So next month again 100 GB. So 100 GB, 100 GB, 12 month. 100 GB every month you take it into 12 months. It is approximately how much? 1 terabyte of data. So 1 terabyte of data per year. So thinking about, you have 20 years of data, 10 years of data. How much of data they have? They'll have 10 terabytes of data. So the first question, can I take all the 10 terabytes of data, create a Power BI report? So Power BI will fail. Power BI cannot take it. But can I create 10 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB? How many 10 GBs you can, cut it and you create a report? It will be also big problem for us. So what normally we do, we create a data warehousing, we store the data for the enterprise level companies. Power BI cannot be taken and used completely. So you have to use SSIS and you need to load the data into the data warehousing. And this is the size of the data I have it. Now what I do, I take this, and this is the data warehouse is one more RDBMS. What is the data warehouse? Which is also one more RDBMS server. Okay, RDBMS server, and where you have large hardware which can accommodate large amount of data. Plus, what is the software installed? Same SQL Server Oracle software. Clear? Same software RDBMS wise you install it. So you will be able to store 10 terabytes of data or 20 terabytes of data. For example, take my laptop. What is the size of the laptop? 4 GB of RAM, 1 terabyte of hard disk. Can I attach 10 terabyte of hard disk in my laptop? It will fail. Motherboard will fail. Processors will fail. They cannot process it. So the hardware will not support this much of a capacity. Now, what should we do? We have to buy a bigger hardware, install either SQL Server or Oracle NetEase, any RDBMS over there, so that you can create that as a data warehousing machine. So warehouse means go down. In simple, language, warehouse means go down, where you can put large amount of data. Large means I'm talking about terabytes of data. Every month, 100 GB of data when you're putting, it is very, very small data. So every month Amazon is getting terabytes of data only, or they'll be getting minimum 300, 400, 500 GB of data. Millions of transactions they'll be having it, right? So they'll put the data into the data warehousing, which is a one more server, maybe Oracle data warehousing server or SQL Server data warehousing server. So you need to understand, warehouse means a bigger hardware. In that, the software is the same software we're talking about, Oracle software or SQL Server software. You can store this much of a data. Only storing is going to be happening there. Clear? So if you wanted to process the data, for example, I have 10 and 20. I have 10 and 20. So if I wanted to, aggregate means I'm talking about these three things. Aggregating means either you submit, you find out the minimum, you find out the maximum, you find out the average, or you count what is the total number of orders, happened last 5 years. It is counting. So aggregations means, remember these: sum, min, max, average, and count. What is the average sales? What is the minimum sales? What is the maximum sales? So your data analytics is going to be happening always on this 5 aggregate functions only. Remember. So data analytics means what? What is that you do? You do the aggregations. What is the total sales? It is what is called a aggregation. What is the minimum sales? And which countries where the sales is minimum? Which brands where the sales is highest? Which brand? What is the average sales in India last 5 years for Apple iPhone? So something like that. I want to do, how many people, brought Apple iPhone, the latest model. So the counting, right? So aggregations means sum, min, max, average count. When one guy is doing, who's the guy? Data warehousing, is storing the data. It can also process. So aggregations means it is a processing of data. So there are two operations that you need to think on. One is called processing. The one more operation is called storing, right? If you go to hotel, if you go to restaurant or a hotel, there are two operations. Somebody is preparing a food. It is called chef, right? One more guy is called serving the food. Is called steward or a waiter, right? So steward is called as a waiter. So why we need to have two people? Chef can prepare a food, and he can also come to the restaurant. He can also, serve the food, right? But why we are dividing? Because when you have a more and more crowd, one guy is busy in preparing the food. One more guy is going to the kitchen, get the food, and serve it to the customer. So that guy is called steward. But if you understand cleanly, chef can also do that. Chef easily can go to the restaurant, and he can also serve the food to the customers, right? But why chef is not doing? Even RDBMS also can do aggregation, some process, everything, because we read select sum of balance, blah blah blah. Definitely we will be able to do that. So chef also can, serve the food. Why not? Chefs are going to be serving the foods because the load will be more. So there are two operations are going to, happen in the hotel. One is called food preparation and food serving, right? So here there are two operations. One is called storing of the data. The next one is called the processing of the data. So however, we have one more guy for serving the food. That is way I don't want to process it here. So I have to take one more application help. The application is called as cubing. Okay. The application is called as a cube application, right? So one guy is storing the data. Whoever is storing the data, they can also process the data. But the problem is that if I doing two operations, then data warehousing load will be more for data warehousing. Clear? So if your chef is, preparing the food and coming out and serving into the restaurant, means he will go mad, because so much of a work he has to do in the kitchen, and he's busy in making what? Making the food. And one more guy is there. He's one more guy. He's going to be preparing what is called as a serving. Like that, this guy is storing the data. So all this processing is going to be happening by this fellow. So SSAS is the application where you create a cube. Cube is going to be getting the data from here. A waiter is going to go to the kitchen, gets the food, and is going to be serving it to the customer. Like that, this fellow is going to go there and get the data. He is going to be processing. So what cube is going to be doing? It is going to be processing. What data warehouse is going to be doing? Data warehouse is going to be storing. There are two operations. What is that operation called? I told you an example, hotel example. Prepare the food and serve the food. Store the data, it is one operation. And all this data has to be processed. Processed means I wanted to know what is the total. Total is 10 plus 20, 30. The aggregated value is going to be stored there. Okay. So aggregate. So tomorrow I would like to find out what is the minimum, what is the maximum, what is the average. All these things will be stored in where? In SSAS. Clear? So what is the need for SSAS means? So it is going to be processing the data. What is the need for data warehousing means? Data warehouse also can process the data. You can have the tables data, you can write a query, because It is also one more database. Data warehouse is a database because RDBMS means where do you store the data? In database. Database where exactly? Tables. Tables means we can write joins and everything. We will be able to process. But when you give more work, Shafi also can prepare the food and he can come to the restaurant and serve it to the customer. But load will be more to the chef. Chef will be loaded with over work. So I don't want to use data warehouse for the processing. Processing also you can do it, but it is not the right way to do that. We are going to be hiring one more, guy. That guy is called SSAS. Clear? So tomorrow we'll talk about what is the difference between SSAS tabular model cube and SSAS in this one. So data warehousing is completely storing the data, and cube is going to be completely used for what? Completely used for processing of the data. So both of them can be handled by data warehousing, but we never do. Why? Load will be more. So if you're handling both of them means only one chef you have or two chefs we have, they're busy with serving, preparing the food and serving. So it will be difficult for them. So there is a, chef department, there is a stewards department, serving department, F&B production, right? So this is what is this called as? Chefs are called as in the five-star hotel F&B. F&B, right? F&B means food and beverages. So food and beverage production department. Production means people who are going to be making. So what is this called as? F&B service, right? F&B, food and beverages service department. So there are two departments that you have, F&B production, F&B service. So in the hotel industry, this is how they're going to be calling. F&B production, F&B service, and housekeeping and front office. So these are the four departments you have in the hotel, right? So like that, we have four guys. One is called ETL, one is called reporting, one is called data warehousing, one is called SSAS cubes. A lot of things are available. So tomorrow we'll talk about the difference between SSAS tabular model cube and multi-dimensional cube, and later we create a cube, and creating a cube is a 2 minutes work. Creating a cube is a 2 minutes work, but why it is important, what it is going to be doing, you have to know. So if somebody asks you what is that cube is going to be doing, which is a processing the data, which is a processing the data. So processing means what? It is going to be aggregating the data. Aggregating means what? Aggregating means summing, minimum, maximum, average, count. All operations are going to be happening at the SSAS level. What is the purpose of a data warehouse? Means storing terabytes of data. So that is the purpose of a RDBMS or data warehousing here. So which is what is called OLAP. So this is what is called as OLAP system, right? So we knew about it. So this is what is called OLTP system. So both of them, cubing and everything, this is what is called OLAP. OLAP means we discussed about, online analytical processing. So the source system is called OLTP system. Clear? So cube is a part of OLAP. Cube is part of what? OLAP. Now, later we create a lot of reports, right? So if you wanted to analyze the data, you get the data from here, you are going to be creating a lot of reports. The reporting can be anything, you can use it. You can use simple Excel also. You can go in with for Power BI or SSRS, anything, you should be able to get the data from it. So reporting needs data. So data may come from Cube, data may come from data warehouse directly, data may come from Excel directly, or .NET, it can get the data, it can also get the data from it. So reporting needs data. Reporting does not need SSAS or data warehousing or Excel. It can get the data from anywhere. So any reporting tool does not need only Cube need to be there, only data warehousing will be there. So you need to know if you're connecting to this one, what is the meaning? You will be able to get the raw data. So you need to aggregate the data. If you're using the data, the aggregation is already done. You need not aggregate the data. Clear? So that is your choice. You get the data, you aggregate it, or you give one more guy, he is going to be aggregating it. That is your choice. Get the vegetables, you give it to mother, she is going to be cooking, and you eat. That is one choice. You get the raw vegetables, you cook the vegetables, and you eat it. That is one more choice. You get the data from directly here. You are going to be showing, before showing you wanted to aggregate, you do the aggregations and everything at the Power BI level. So processing can be happen here, processing can be happen here, processing can be happen here. That is your choice. So if you're giving a burden to this fellow will cry. If you're getting, if you given burden to this guy, this fellow also will cry. So the better give it to one more department. This guy can handle it properly. So that guy called one more department. That department is called analysis department. He is going to be aggregating. So end of the day, you have the data. You need to aggregate and show the data. What is the total sales of last 5 years? So you have the raw data here, 10 and 20. You get the data before showing the totals. You need to aggregate it. So the burden is at the reporting side. So if you're doing at the data warehousing level, the burden, the processing of the thing has to be done at the data warehousing level. So burden is at which level? Storing level, data warehousing level. So you don't take extra load. You don't take extra load. You get one more guy recruited. That guy is called SSAS, is going to be processing the data. The better choice is this choice. Clear? When you have more and more data, why Power BI has to take the data, aggregate the data, reports are very, very slow, and the customers will not be happy about if the report is slow. Clear? So don't give the processing capability either to the reporting tool or to the data warehousing tool. You create a separate application, and that application let it take, that will handle that work. So that is the need for SSAS. Am I clear? I'm talking about 10 and 20, only two numbers. Think about billions of rows are available here. Then think about aggregations. Aggregations means all these things. How much of time you need? You need so much of a time, you'll go mad. The better recruit one more guy. That guy is going to be handling the processing. That guy is called SSAS. Clear? So when to use tabular model cube, when to use multi-dimensional, we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Am I clear? So that is the need for SSAS. So tomorrow we'll speak about tabular model cube, then we'll talk about how to create a cubes and everything. Okay? So if you have any questions, you are welcome.